In last video, I have given two problems for homework. Out of that, 23 is first homework, 24 was the second homework. Hope you got these answers. Today I move to next question. Two spheres of same size are made of same material, but one is hollow and other is solid. They are heated to the same temperature. Then which sphere will expand more is the question. Okay, see here. There are two spheres. One is solid, another is hollow. Both are heated to the same temperature. Which will expand more is the question. See, whether you take areal expansion or volume expansion. See, if I take volume expansion, change in volume is equal to initial volume, gamma means coefficient of volume expansion, into change in temperature. You know this formula. Here I want what happens to the change in the volume. See, change in volume depends on initial volume. You know, volume of sphere is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube. You know, here for both the spheres, this 4 by 3 is a constant number. Since they have same size, because of the size, this r is also remains same. Therefore, initial volume of both the spheres remains same and made up of same material. Because of the same material, gamma remains the same. They are heated to same temperature, means a rise in the temperature in both remains same. Hence, for both the spheres, these three RHS remains same. Hence, their LHS is also remains same. Therefore, today I can say both the spheres will expand equally. Therefore, option number 1 is correct. Okay. Next question number 26. Two spheres of same size are made up of same material, but one is hollow and other is solid. Same what we have taken in the last problem. If same heat is given to both the spheres, see the difference. In the last problem, temperature was the same. Here, heat energy given remains the same. Then which one will expand more is the question. See, now you must know heat energy given to a body. According to this next in calorimetry I will take, heat energy given to a body is equal to m means mass of the body, s specific heat into change in the temperature. Right? So in this present problem, for both the spheres, same heat energy is given. Since both are made up of same material, hence S remains the same. Since one is hollow, another is solid, because of that mass is different. Since mass is different, change in temperature may be different. Then how they are related? According to that, change in the temperature delta T is inversely proportional to the mass. Inversely proportional to the mass. Now, when I come to the expansion concept of expansion, see delta V in this 26th problem, once again initial volume remains same, gamma remains same. Then delta V depends on delta T. So delta V directly proportional to delta T. But from here delta T inversely proportional to mass. Hence delta V and mass are inversely proportional. Means more is the mass, lesser is the change in the volume. Smaller is the mass, more is the increase in the volume. Here question is, which will expand more? Which will expand more? Asking delta V should be more. To have more delta V, mass should be less. Out of solid and hollow, solid, the hollow will have less mass. Hence, hollow sphere will expand more. Therefore, answer is the second, B. Hollow will expand more. Next question. The volume of a block of a metal changes by 0.12% when heated through 20 degrees Celsius. The coefficient of linear expansion of the metal is the question. Okay, I think here the value of coefficient of linear expansion of the metal is not mentioned. Okay, I should give this. It should be given. Okay, first I'll go through the concept. Given is percentage change in the volume is equal to 0.12%, and it is heated through 20 degrees Celsius. Means rise in the temperature is equal to 20 degrees Celsius. Asking for the coefficient of linear expansion, not necessary. So asking what is the coefficient of linear expansion in per degree Celsius, means answers are in per degree Celsius. Nothing is necessary. We have to calculate coefficient of linear expansion. Okay, see, given is percentage change in volume is nothing but change in volume divided by original volume into 100%. Okay, you know, this is nothing but 0.12%. This change in volume by original volume is gamma into delta T. Day before, means in the second video, I told this equation into 100. So we want coefficient of linear expansion. Means we should know the relation between gamma and alpha. Since gamma is equal to 3 into alpha, hence if I take this side, 0.12 divided by 100 is equal to 3 times of alpha into change in the temperature is 20. Now pause the screen and Simplify. 0.12 divided by 100. If I take this side, it will be into 20. If I take 3 this side, once again into 3 is equal to alpha. Here 0.12 I'll multiply by 100 into 10 to the power minus 2 divided by, it will be I think 6 into 10 to the power plus 3. Check it. So 0.12 into this 100 is nothing but 12. So 6 1s are 6 2s are. So final answer is 2 into, if I take 10 to the power plus 3 up, it is minus 3. Minus 3 minus 2 is minus 5 per degree Celsius. So 2 into 10 to the power minus 5 per degree Celsius is the answer. Therefore option first is correct. One second. Listen, okay, right. 28. Question number 28. A steel rod of length 25 centimeter has cross-sectional area of 0.8 centimeter square. The force required to stretch this rod by the same amount as the expansion produced by heating it through 10, it should be 10 degrees Celsius. Instead of 100, make it as 10 degrees Celsius. Okay, I'll try to make this. Okay, 10 degrees Celsius, where alpha of steel is given and Young's modulus of the steel is given. Okay, see, as we know, here concept of the problem is, whenever we have a rod, if one end is fixed and at other end if you stretch, then this rod get extend. This is called longitudinal expansion. That is because of the stress, it will increase its length. So whenever we heat this rod, then also its length increases. It is called thermal expansion. Now question is, the change in the length by stretching, change in the length by stretch should be equal to change in the length by heating. This is our necessary condition. This is a necessary condition. Okay. So for that, for this purpose, to have this, force is how much is a question. Directly I can go for my discussed formula called thermal stress. If you don't remember, I can take in short here. As we know, Young's modulus is equal to internal forces per unit area whole divided by change in length by original length. By divide, it will be like this. So we want force. This force must be equal to F is equal to Y into A into delta L by L. You know this delta L by L is nothing but today's fractional change in length. I can call it as an alpha. Okay. So sorry, this F can be written as Y A. This is nothing but alpha into delta T. So this already we have arrived in thermal stress. Today, to get this F, Y already given, A given, alpha given, change in temperature 10 given. Everything is given. Substitute and simplify. Pause the screen and try this. Okay, here conversion was necessary. A is equal to 0.8 centimeter square or 0.8 centi means 10 to the power minus 2 meter whole square or 0.8 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter square. Now you can do easily. Okay, that is this. Y is equal to, sorry, F is equal to, better I'll remove this. F is equal to Y A alpha into delta T. Y means here 2 into 10 to the power 10. A means 0.8 into 10 to the power minus 4. Alpha 10 to the power minus 5. Delta T is a 10. You know, 10 into 8, 10 into 0.8 is 8, 8 into 2 is 16, into 10 to the power minus 5 minus 4 is minus 9, minus 9 plus 10 is plus 1. So final answer is 160 Newton. Next question. Two metal rods of same length and area of cross section are fixed end to end between rigid supports. It's given that we have two rods. So it is one fixed rigid support. This is another rigid support. Here we have two rods. Say this is the first rod of length L1. Say length is the same length is given. Sorry, it's mentioned that both have same length. This is L, it is L. Materials have Young's modulus Y1, it is Y2. Coefficient of linear expansion is alpha 1 and alpha 2. The junction between the rods does not shift and the rods are cooled. See, it means whenever we heat or cool the combination of rods, the junction, this must be fixed. This must be fixed. As I told in thermal stress, whenever it is heated, this rod will try to push this side and this end will push this side. And the rigid support, this will push this side and the rigid support of this will push this side. Now today this junction should be fixed, does not move. For this purpose, thermal stress on first rod should be equal to thermal stress on second rod. Just now, I wrote expression for thermal stress, thermal force, that is Young's modulus, area of cross section, alpha into delta T. Similarly, Ya alpha into delta T. See, today we have to differentiate. It is for first rod. Why? Area is same. They have same length, same area of cross section. Therefore, say no need to say 1 and 2. It is alpha 1 into alpha. Both are increased, temperature remains same. So delta T here and here are same. Hence, I can say this A delta T. A delta T can cancel. Hence, Y1 alpha 1 is equal to Y2 alpha. Okay, right up. Next, and very important is the thermal expansions. Okay, thermal expansions. Okay, 1 second. See, in the last videos, we have taken thermal expansion of solids. Now, we have to discuss thermal expansion of liquids. My next point is thermal expansion of liquids. Thermal expansion of liquids. See, as like solids, whenever we heat liquids, that also expands. Already that we have studied or we have seen in our daily life. Example, whenever we take a container, this is a container. In this container, when we put a milk in the container, when we have milk in a container, see, it is a milk. Actually, the level of milk is less than the total height of the container in the beginning. But whenever we heat, you know that after some time, after it gets heated to a certain temperature, the liquid will come out of the container. It means on heating, volume of the liquid, means milk, increased. So this is called thermal expansion of liquids, right? So in this thermal expansion of liquids, how to measure the thermal expansion of liquids? What is the formula? For that, formula saying the expression for thermal expansion of solids is same as thermal expansion of liquids. But you must remember that the solids can expand longitudinally, that is, there is a linear expansion of solids, there is aerial expansion of solids, and there is volume expansion of solids. But when we think of liquids, liquid cannot be taken independently. It should be taken in a container. When we take in a container, the liquid takes the shape of the container. That you have to remember. Okay, based on that, we can write the expression for the expansion of liquids. One. And here actually for our study, what is important in thermal expansion means apparent expansion of liquids in a container. So today we have to discuss apparent expansion. Apparent thermal expansion of liquids. We have to study. What is this apparent thermal expansion of liquids? See, we have studied that just now. We have seen in our daily life as well as just now I told, and we have studied. Whenever we heat, the liquid gets expanded. Along with the liquid, the container in which liquid is taken is also get expanded. Because of this, we can't predict exact expansion of the liquid. So when both container as well as liquid get expanded, then the net expansion of liquid is called apparent expansion. Okay, in this we'll take a little bit detail. See, suppose, imagine for a minute, I have a container. This is the liquid taken in a container. Okay, say at some normal temperature. Whenever we heat, we know both size of the container as well as size of the liquid will expand. Suppose here, case 1. See, this is the container. I have increased the length, means size of the container increased. See, when size of the container is increased, but level of the liquid remains same. Level same means volume of the liquid is also increased. If volume of liquid delta V, change in volume of liquid, delta V suffix N is equal to delta V of the container or the, I can say, solid are equal, then level of liquid in the container remains same. Look at this, initial level and final level are same. Level of liquid remains same. But we know that change in volume can be written as initial volume, coefficient of volume expansion, and change in the temperature. We know that here in both cases volume remains the same. If I take the volume of container here to here, volume of container, the container which contains liquid, that much volume I am taking. Same, and whenever we heat both the liquid as well as the solid, both will receive same amount of heat. Means temperature, means heat energy, means temperature will rise equally. Then to have same change in volume, then gamma must be remains same. For this, if no change in the level of liquid, then gamma of liquid is equal to gamma of the solid container. If coefficient of volume expansion of the liquid is equal to coefficient of volume expansion of container, that is solid, are equal, then whenever we heat, there is no change in the level of the liquid. Now in the next case, say whenever we heat, see, earlier level was this. Suppose when level of liquid is more than the initial level, means level of liquid is increased. Level increased means level of the liquid is increased. So when the level is increased means change in volume of the liquid is greater than change in volume of the solid, that is a container. If it is so, then level of the liquid in the container increases. So for this purpose, coefficient of volume expansion of liquid should be greater than coefficient of volume expansion of the solid or the container. Okay, this is the case number 2. And in third case, see, here initial level, this is the initial level. Okay, suppose here, assume the container is up to here, the level of the liquid in the container is decreased. This is the initial level. Now level of the liquid in the container decreased. When this happens, whenever we heat a liquid in a container, if level of the liquid in a container decreases. So when this happens, means when change in volume of the liquid is less than change in volume of the container in which liquid is taken. Next, for this purpose, to happen this, gamma of liquid should be less than gamma of solid. Okay, this you have to remember. Means whenever we heat a liquid in a container, if level of the liquid in the container remains same, then assume increase in the volume of liquid is equal to increase in the volume of solid. For that purpose, coefficient of volume expansion of liquid and the container remains same. If on heating, if level of liquid increases, example in case of milk, then volume of change in volume of the liquid should be greater than change in volume of the solid. For this, coefficient of volume expansion of the liquid must be greater than coefficient of volume expansion of the solid. And finally, when volume decreases, means level of liquid decreases, then volume of liquid increase. Change in the volume of liquid means increase in the volume of liquid is less than increase in the volume of solid. For that, coefficient of volume expansion of liquid must be less than coefficient of volume of solid. Okay, so now this is our conditions. Now based on that, we can analyze what is the apparent change in the volume. Apparent change in the volume of the liquid. Apparent change in the volume of the liquid. Apparent change. Apparent change in the volume. Apparent change in the volume of liquid. Apparent change in the volume of liquid. See, for that, see, change in the volume. This is apparent change in the volume. Delta V apparent. Delta V apparent is equal to delta V of the liquid. Delta V of the liquid minus delta V of the solid container. You know, this delta V is nothing but initial volume, coefficient of volume expansion into change in the temperature. You know, it is apparent. That is equal to, you know, initially I am taking all volumes same. Initial volume of liquid, gamma of liquid, change in the temperature, minus initial volume, gamma of solid container into change in the temperature. In all, you know, V naught delta T, V naught delta T, V naught delta T. You can take common and simplify. Your final expression will be apparent coefficient of volume expansion is equal to gamma of liquid minus gamma of the solid container. This is a very important relation to be remembered. Okay, note down. See, at one point you must remember, here we know the relation between coefficient of expansions, that is beta is equal to 2 times of alpha, gamma is equal to 3 times of alpha. You know the relation. But this you can write only for solids. You can write this relation only for solids. You cannot replace these for liquids. Keep in mind. Okay. Now come to the next question based on expansion of liquids. A horizontal tube open at both ends contains a column of liquid. The length of the liquid column does not change with the temperature. And gamma is the coefficient of volume expansion of the liquid, and alpha is the coefficient of linear expansion of material of the tube. Okay, see what is given. What is given? So if you understand, if you think, if you read twice, you can understand the problem. It's given that in a horizontal tube, which is open at both ends, a liquid is taken like this, right? Liquid is taken. So whenever we heat, length of the liquid in the tube does not change. Length of the liquid does not change means what? When this happen? This happen only when increase in the volume of liquid should be equal to change in volume of the tube. Change in the volume of the tube. Oh, now you can write. How do you write this? So for liquid, initial volume into gamma into delta T. For liquid, say initial volume both are remain same. It is gamma for solid. Change in the temperature remains same for both. You know this volume can be written as area into length. You can write area into length. You can get the answer. See, we know that this volume can be written as length into initial area into gamma into delta T. Alright? This is also equal to same length initial area into delta T. You can cancel these delta T's. Or otherwise, this is nothing but length area into delta T we can write. Okay, or otherwise first you substitute, you will get the answers. Try, because I am getting little confused here. So instead of writing this, for solids I can write change in the volume is nothing but length into area. Length into area we can write. So this is L area gamma into delta T. This is initial area. This is length. Area can be written as A naught into beta into delta T. This is change in area. oh, this get cancels. Gamma is equal to beta. Beta is nothing but 2 times of alpha. Hope it's not confused. Change in volume of liquid is equal to, see here it says that length of the liquid does not change, means L remains same. L same, to change the volume andre area change ಆಗಲೇಬೇಕು. ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ, ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಇದೇನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾವು ಟ್ಯೂಬಲ್ಲಿ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಆ ಟ್ಯೂಬನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಲೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಡಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿದಪ್ಲೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಲೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಮೊದಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ ದ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ ದ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಂಟೈನರ್ ಅಂತ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದು? ಇದು ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್, ಇದು ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಇದು ಒಂದು ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇದ್ರ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ತೊಗೋಬೋದು? ನಾನು ಈಗ ಲೆಂತ್ ಇಂಟು ಏರಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ತಗೋತೀನಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇದು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಬರೀತೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಲೆಂತ್ ಇಂಟು ಏರಿಯಾ, ಅಥವಾ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಬರೀಬೋದು ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಗಾಮಾ ಇಂಟು ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಟಿ ಬರ್ಕೊತೀನಿ. ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಆಸ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಇಂಟು ಲೆಂತ್. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಹೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಲೆಂತ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಉಳಿತದ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏರಿಯಾನೇ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಲೇಬೇಕು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಲೆಂತ್ ಆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಎ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೊತೀನಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಲೆಂತ್ ಇಂಟು ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ತಗೋತೀನಿ, ಗಾಮಾ ಇಂಟು ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ. ಇದು ಲೆಂತ್ ಆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್. ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಏರಿಯಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಬೀಟಾ ಇಂಟು ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಟಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲೆಂತ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಏರಿಯಾ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಟಿ. ದೆನ್ ಗಾಮಾ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಬೀಟಾ ಅಂತ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಆದರೆ ಬೀಟಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 2 ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾ. ಓಕೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. A liquid with coefficient of volume expansion gamma is filled in a container of a material having coefficient of linear expansion alpha. If liquid overflows on heating, then ಈಗ ಓವರ್ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಏನು? ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ನೋಡಿದೇವೆ ನಾವ್ರೆ, ಒಂದು ಕಂಟೈನರ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಕಂಟೈನರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಈ ಕಂಟೈನರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಹೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ whenever we heat, both liquid volume as well as container volume changes. If both change in the volume of container as well as liquid, if both are same, then no change in the level. ಆದರೆ it is given that liquid overflow ಅಂತ. liquid overflow ಅಂದ್ರೆ delta V of liquid is greater than the delta V of the container in which liquid is taken. Okay, ಹಿಂಗಾಗಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ gamma of liquid must be greater than gamma of the solid or the container. ಈ ಕಂಟೈನರ್ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡೋಣ. ನಾನು ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಅಂತೂ ಆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಬರಿಬೇಕಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಬರಿಬೋದು? ಗಾಮಾ ಆಫ್ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ನಾನು 3 ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾ. ಸೊ ಗಾಮಾ ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ದನ್ 3 ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾ. ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಬಿ. ಈಗ ಅಪರೆಂಟ್ ದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ the real coefficient of volume expansion of glycerin is 0.0000597 per degree Celsius, and linear coefficient of expansion of glass is this. Then apparent volume coefficient of glycerin ಅಂದರೆ ಇದು ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೀವನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ರೀ. ಗಾಮಾ ಆಫ್ ಅಪರೆಂಟ್ S2 ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ಲಿಸರಿನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಗಾಮಾ ಆಫ್ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ 0.0000597 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದೆಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 0.12345 ಈ ಥರ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕು? ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್? ಸಿ, ಗಾಮಾ ಅಪರೆಂಟ್ ಈಗ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ ಆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗಾಮಾ ಆಫ್ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಮೈನಸ್ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಗೆ ಬರೀಬೇಕು? ಗಾಮಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ಆಲ್ಫಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ 3 times of alpha of solid. Substitute and simplify, you get your answer. Okay, can you do it? So I don't have answer, I think. Even if you do, you can get it 3 times like 18. If I subtract 18 from this, you may get your answer. Okay, do it fast. So this is one of the most common question in our books, in our CET books. This is a very common question. Coefficient of apparent expansion of liquid is C when heated in a copper vessel. So coefficient of apparent expansion is C when it is heated in a copper container, and yes when heated in a silver container, and A is a coefficient of linear expansion of copper, then that of silver. What is the coefficient of linear expansion of silver is the question. So no change at all. We know that gamma of apparent expansion, first on copper ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, C is equal to whether you heat in a copper container, copper vessel or silver vessel. Liquid remains same. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಗಾಮಾ ಆಫ್ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾನು ಗಾಮಾ ಅಂತಾನೆ ತಗೋತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಮೈನಸ್ ಗಾಮಾ ಆಫ್ ಸಾಲಿಡ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಮೊದಲು ಕಾಪರ್ ಅದ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿಲ್ವರ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನೇನು ತಗೋತೀನಿ, ಗಾಮಾ ಆಫ್ ಕಾಪರ್ ತಗೋತೀನಿ, ಗಾಮಾ ಆಫ್ ಕಾಪರ್. So we know that C is the ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ reshuffle ಮಾಡೋಣ. Gamma is equal to C, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ಲಸ್ gamma of copper. Gamma is equal to C, ಇದು ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಅದಾರೆ, ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ 3 times of coefficient of linear expansion of copper. ಇಲ್ಲಿ coefficient of linear expansion of copper ಅನ್ನು ನಾನು A ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ gamma of liquid is equal to C plus 3 times of E. Similarly ನೀವು ಸಿಲ್ವರಿಗೆ ಬರ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. For silver, a coefficient of apparent expansion of the silver is S is equal to gamma for liquid, ಎರಡೂ ಕಡೆ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ gamma L ಸೇಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, minus gamma for silver. So silver is equal to gamma for liquid minus 3 times of alpha of silver. So reshuffle ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ gamma of liquid is equal to S plus ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ 3 times of alpha of silver. In these two equations, LHS of both equations are same. ಎರಡೂ ಕಡೆ LHS ಸೇಮ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ RHS ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಸೇಮ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಓಕೆ, C plus 3A is equal to S plus 3 alpha S. I am interested in this, so bring it this side. C plus 3a minus s is equal to 3 into alpha s. So alpha s is equal to C plus 3a minus s divided by 3. This is the answer. Okay, so it is a second one, right? Okay, so these are few questions on liquid expansion of liquid. Some more questions are there. I will take in the next hour. After this, we have in the liquid expansions we have anomalous behavior of water and effect of temperature on buoyancy. 2 points I have to discuss, that we will discuss in next video.